to have them share tonight. And I don't know if Gina has a little video saying, hey, I wish I was here. Do we have that one? No, we don't have that one, but maybe next time we'll have that one. So, hey, congratulations for being here. It's going to be a great night. Get your application in. Jan and Sherry and I are also going to be giving away, what are we giving away?
I'm not sure. What are we giving away?
Brand new car!
Okay, you can read all the forms because it's getting too confusing, but I know that we're excited for you guys. I know we're heading into summer, but don't take your foot off the gas, because whatever you do now is going to take you straight through the summer and straight through the fall, and you're going to be able to build a huge business. We're excited. So without any further ado, please welcome up Crown Black Diamond Steve Merritt.
We are just getting started here in Canada. I just want to let you know that I'm excited for every one of you that's here for the first time. Those of you that are guests, those of you that have been in the business for a little while, even the little ones are excited back here. Right? Because you know what? We want to help you get free. My wife and I just got back on our 26th free trip from MonaVie. Anybody like free trips? Okay, so we were traveling for almost 2 weeks, or a little more than 2 weeks, almost 20 days through Europe. Because MonaVie sent us on a free trip to Switzerland. Anybody ever been to Switzerland? Some of you have been there. It's beautiful. And in Interlaken, where we were, they give you a couple. They put $1,000 in your bank account before you go, in case you get stuck and you can't make it back for dinner. They pay for all the food while you're there. Jan was with us, okay, and then they rent us cars when we're there. Pay for hotel rooms the whole time you're there, so which is pretty neat. I mean, most of the time you might get off for a holiday from your job, but ask your boss tomorrow how long you got to work there before he pays for a full expense paid trip to Switzerland for 2 weeks. Probably kick you out of there, right? So we're looking for some friends that want to. That's why I'm here. I'm going to be doing it in the wrong spot, or? Okay, we're working it out, right? The good thing about this is I've been doing this for 6 years. I didn't want to do it, so if you're a guest tonight, I was just as cool as you are. Okay, I didn't want to do it. I was praying for something to help me, because my wife just got her pay cut in half, and I hated being a sales rep. It was like prison, because I water skied for 25 years, been around the world, had to get more pages in my passport, and then I had to get a job because I couldn't compete anymore. And it felt like prison. I don't know if you got a job or not, but to me it was prison. But I appreciated it. Don't get me wrong. I appreciated that I had a job. I just love to goof around and have a little more free time to go to places like Switzerland and hang out. Hello? Okay, so a guy called my wife. His name is Bob Robinson. Hadn't spoken to him for 10 years. Called her up, said, hey, I got this nutritional beverage. That's all we had back then. Now we got a meal replacement product called Reveal, but we only had, they actually had this green bottle when we got in, and he said, hey, I got this nutritional beverage, people are feeling great on the product, and people are making money, you guys want to do it. We're actually going to promote it multi-level type, more word of mouth, networking. Oh, Steve will love that, just give him a call. So she told me to take his call. He's going to call you about some kind of juice that we're going to promote multi-level type, network marketing. Yeah, right, I'm going to take that call. Like for a month, I didn't answer the phone. Okay? So I'm just like every one of you. I didn't want to do it. Then finally, a month later, I psyched myself up. She was flying because she was a flight attendant. And the kids were doing something. I said, all right, I'm going to sign up, just get it over with. So he called me up and said, Bob, sign me up. Okay? Phone went a little quiet. He said that, I can't sign you up. He said, the only one that knows how to sign people up is Linda, and she's not even here. I'm like, can you imagine if you sold cars and you called a guy to buy the car and you don't even know how to close it? I mean, that's how bad you could be at this. He made over $10 million. He doesn't even know how to sign people up. Is that pretty good? He just went Royal Black Diamond. They gave him a $100,000 bonus about a month ago, and he didn't even know how to sign. I taught my sponsor. I said, you know what? I didn't say that I'm psyched myself up to take this call to get it over with. I just said, how hard could this be? Take me to the website. He took me to the website. He said, it says I need my sponsor's ID number. So he gave me his ID number. I taught my sponsor how to sign people up. Okay? And then I just said, okay, I did it, no problem. He even said, you're supposed to get on auto ship. And I look on there, and it shows a bottle floating around out there. I clicked the one bottle, and I was on one bottle auto ship. All right? It cost more money to ship the bottle than it costs to have the bottle, to buy it. But he didn't know what. The good thing about tonight, if you're brand new or you've been in, I'm going to go through the new MVP Velocity Kit and a proven support system and teach you exactly the right way to get somebody started, which I appreciated once I finally got involved, because I didn't do nothing for 90 days. I forgot I was even in. One day I got an email across my desk, and it said that this guy's friend Charlie got a bus with his MonaVie money, and that was my dream. My whole grown-up life, I always wanted a bus. I don't know why I wanted a bus, I just wanted a bus. So I was handing people my cards. I got my cards, y'all. I came here to connect with everyone. You won't understand everything in one night, but you got to look around and you got to notice a couple things. The first thing you want to understand is who you're getting in business with. Your friend that brought you here. The folks that just got done up here, my friends Alan Sherry, Jan was with us in Switzerland, myself. I mean, Jan, every time I ever said I was coming here to Canada, have I shown up? Always. Every time I've shown up. So I've never called in sick. You're looking to see who you're getting in business with. That should be your number one thing. I didn't know Dallin Larson, the founder of MonaVie, but he hasn't missed paying anyone for 7.5 years, totaling $1 billion. That's pretty cool. Anyways, I wanted to get a bus my whole life, but I'd given up on it because that's probably the biggest issue you're going to have as you're talking to people about MonaVie, the business opportunity. Could be you as a guest. Is people have got so much dust on their dreams. Like I've given up on getting my bus, so I didn't even think about it. Then the email came across, and I said, "This guy got a bus," and he said he was making $4,000 a week. I'm like, I actually was praying when I signed up that because 3 people called me to help me build it. Brig Hart, Charlie Calvin, my sponsor Bobby, called on my cell phone and said, "We want to help you build it." 3 different times, 3 different people, and I delete. I'm like saying, I don't know why these guys are calling me about this. I only signed up to be nice. I am too cool to build this. All right? So you might relate, okay? What I was trying to get at was I actually was praying that it wouldn't work because I figure if it works, I'm going to have to do it because I'm broke. So when I got the email that said he got a bus and he's making $4,000 a week, I was like, work! I'm going to have to do this thing now. At least see how he got the bus, because no one else was, whatever your dream is, no one else was coming to me saying, hey, I got a bus, and I want to help you get a bus. So if you're like saying, I'd like to retire, or I'd like to at least have some freedom. I haven't had a job for 5.5 years. I don't say that I'm retired. It messed people up a little bit my first couple of years. So now I figured out that I just don't have a job, but I'm still here, okay? We're doing something. God didn't put us on this earth to do nothing, but hey, Donald Trump's not sitting around doing nothing. Warren Buffett's not sitting around, so don't question that. The great thing about what I'm doing is I've helped 102 friends so far make $1 million. 102 friends of mine personally make $1 million. Picture with me, all right? I got all the pictures right here. So that's pretty cool, right? And most people your closest friends, like my closest friends, they go, oh, well, no big deal. Like you got one of these at your office with all the people that make $1 million. They make $1 million. Pinned right by your desk. Pages of them, by the way, not just a couple pages, pages of them. Most people, like my wife's airlines, have a retirement book like this. So they have a book like this, but they're all about 72. And they really, if you called them up, they're not traveling to Switzerland and goofing around. Okay, you know what I'm getting at? One of my friends, Dewey, and his wife, Tanya, just earned a free trip to Israel with MonaVie, right? Just earned it, okay? So they're sending you to Israel. Is that a dream for a lot of people? They'd love to go to Israel, okay? Because of MonaVie, I've been there about 6 times. I got a big group over there. Just took Gina to the Holy Land just this past trip when we were over there because we went from Switzerland. We went to Israel before we went to Switzerland, then Germany, and then the UK. And Switzerland, Israel is on fire. It was like a room like this. But UK and Germany, hey, we like a challenge. I remember when I came here years ago with Jan, and we had a room about, 4 euros people. We hadn't rented a room about this size. And the people were scattered all over the place. Nobody would sit in the front row, And it was around December time. And everybody was moping around. I said, you know what? Don't beat yourself up. This is going to happen. I believe in every one of you. And we're going to take this thing to a whole new level in Canada. And Canada has almost like set the standard almost in all of North America since that time. Jan went black diamond. A bunch of people went diamond in the business and blue diamond right there, right, in the business, and became great friends of ours. And now we're just getting started with this team right here, if you're ready. We got pictures of proof that it's happening. I mean, my two brother-in-laws are both in here. One was a multi-millionaire. So if you're very successful in the room, millionaires aren't afraid to make another million. The great thing about talking to somebody who's already made $1 million is they're not afraid to make another million. You talk to someone who's never made $1 million, they're a little nervous sometimes because they're not sure how to do it. Start talking to people that have one in their life. Randy had a big talk with us this past week, and the new president of North America. He's been the president of Europe. 30 years of experience in this industry. He's made over $30 million, and he's our president. He was a black diamond. Again, if you're brand new, you won't know what that is. But about $1.5 million a year was a black diamond in MonaVie, and then his best friend, Dallin Larson, said, hey, would you take over and help us on the corporate side? Never, I don't think in the history of this business, has there been someone that has been one of us at the helm, helping us so everybody gets exactly what they need to get this thing done in a very fast way. That's pretty cool. Yeah. So, anyways, my millionaire brother-in-law is in here, and the great thing about what we're doing is nobody understands what we do. Out there, other than tonight, I mean, if you're brand new, you won't be able to get it in one night. It's like you trying to teach me how to be a nurse or a doctor or whatever you are in one night. I can't learn it in one night. You can't learn what we're doing in one night. You mostly got to look around this room and say, if you had a guest that said they were going to come and they didn't show up, take a picture. I've already been, I could give my camera to Sean. He's taking pictures all over the room because I'm like, if they didn't make it, you need to take a picture like throughout the night. Just take a couple pictures and say, hey, send it to him right now. Say, it's a good thing you didn't come. You wouldn't have fit. I've been building the business. John McNabb knows me. I've been building it not desperate since I got in. Doesn't matter. If you want something more for your family, I'll help you. But if you don't, there's nothing I can do about it. I can't do anything for you, but I can at least tell you what I got my hands on, and we can do it together. Am I right, Jim? Jim, I've been doing that since I started. And it doesn't matter if I'm talking to one person because somebody called me, don't come because nobody's coming. I said, I'm going to come anyway because I got nothing else to do. My wife's with me. We're going to drive 6 hours tonight. 3 hours there, 3 hours back. And you might want to call a couple more people because I got 2 jobs that I got to work tomorrow. My wife's got a job, and we got 4 kids, and we got a babysitter for them. They called up and got a gal to come over as a favor. And if that gal didn't go to that black diamond level, get a free Mercedes like Jan has, her and her husband, some of our best buddies, their first meeting that they had at their house, they had 30 people. So if only one person comes, you don't know who they're going to lead you to. And most people would go when I went home because we were only like 20 minutes down the road from a 6-hour trip. So some people, you got to know who you're in business with. We're not afraid of doing a little bit of work. Some people say, how many people you got to talk to? I'm like, how many people do you get to talk to? Right? How much time do you got to put in? Can you put in 24 hours if you want to get yourself free? I wanted to bring my wife home from work. If you want to get your wife home from work, okay? Gals, if you want to come home from work and you never told your husband, I'm a little bad. I want to come home, right? We got 4 kids. My wife was crying every time she left, and she had a pretty fun job. I mean, she loved being a flight attendant, but she hated when they cut her pay in half. Yeah. That's what they're doing out there in the corporate world. So be careful. Don't sell out totally to a job because you never know what's going to happen. My friend Corbin, he's on one of the CDs in the back, was making $600,000 a year, and his boss, who he thought was his best friend, called him in his office and said, hey, you know what? You're making too much money. We're going to cut your pay by 2/3. You know when you got all you've created debt and everything, and you got bills to pay? I mean, that's the kind of stress you could put on yourself if you don't get serious about something. I suggest you're never going to have a team like this. You run with us. Now, if you're brand new or if you're just getting started, it's hard to come to a meeting like this and think that we didn't dream to do this because everyone's all excited. Does that make sense? But I told you my story. I was hoping that it didn't work. And then I was mad that it worked. So you might even be mad. You might even be here because you know it's still going on and now you're mad and you're here with me. Right? Well, you can relate because I was mad too, right? I mean, out of the 102 friends that I've helped, not one of them wanted to do it. This is a quick bonus for you. This will mess up. The ones who came tonight are going to get it, and the ones that didn't come are really going to be messed up when you hear this. Not one person that I've helped wanted to do this. No one. Jan didn't sign right up. Nobody, all right? Not one person that has succeeded with me wanted to do it. So if you got a friend that told you they don't want to do it, You got to call them on the way home tonight or first thing tomorrow and say, man, I didn't know this, but I found out about this opportunity I was talking about. It's a whole different deal than I thought it was. I got to come talk to you because you actually are one of the top qualifiers. You owe it to everyone that said no to go back to them and say, man, you were the one we're looking for. The people that didn't come tonight, they are messed up because they think we're going around looking for people that want to do it. It'd be very, very strange if I called you up and said, hey, Jan, this is Steve. How you doing? Hey, I'm coming over to your house. I got a nutritional beverage and a weight loss product that we're going to promote word of mouth, multi-level type. You want to do it? Oh, yeah, I've been waiting for someone to call me about that. You're not going to relate to nobody, all right? You got to be someone that don't want to do it because then you relate to everybody, okay? The great thing is we don't have any competition. Yeah, we got some of these bottle rockets like Randy Schrader talks about, people that say if they always have to tell you, we're as good as MonaVie, or we're the next MonaVie. If they got to put MonaVie in the statement, then you're already in MonaVie. Does that make sense? I mean, one thing about me is Jan's got to know me that God didn't give me a whole lot of intellect. Me and Ralph relate. They gave Ralph to myself because he thanked me. He said, Steve, hey, thanks for sticking in there. And, I haven't veered left or right. I've been in this for 6 years. Everybody's called me and said they got something better than MonaVie. You're crazy to stay building MonaVie. I mean, let me tell you something. I didn't veer left or right. God didn't give me a lot of intellect, but He gave me common sense. Okay? And if somebody's got to tell you that it's as good as MonaVie or we got something like MonaVie, we're in MonaVie. I don't need nothing different. Okay? 30 years of experience. It has a lot to do with... there's a guy named Ken Porter who's in the business, and he said, Steve, you don't understand what a fine line. You have to have the right combination for one of these to work. And when someone has paid out $1 billion and they've opened up 23 countries, because when I got in, there was no country, even Canada, open. Right? Good thing you weren't in here when we started Canada. Al was here, okay? It's the first guy that I sponsored up here. It took 6 weeks to get the juice. You don't get too excited to be drinking it because the bottles broke because it was so doggone cold they didn't know how to ship it. Right? And if you called up and said, my bottles broke, they say, no problem, we'll ship you another case. And they broke too. That's what we had to put up with. They had like a contract with the Canadian Parcel Post, if anyone's dealt with them. It's like the Pony Express of the day. It took 6 weeks to get your juice. Okay? So finally we got the right people in some warehouse. It takes 2 or 3 days now. But we got excited about startup, it's actually a startup right now, to be honest with you, because we got a whole new system, we got a whole new president of MonaVie, we got all new products, we got new people that are, the people that are getting in with us now. John, you can relate to this. When you know that you've been around for 7 years and they haven't missed paying anyone every single week for 7.5 years, totaling over $1 billion, now you start attracting doctors, attorneys, very successful businessmen, executives, bankers, okay? Before that, we're talking to landscapers and guys like me that negotiated their way out of high school, told the teacher, if you don't pass me, I'm coming back. But someone that's got their back against the wall. But guess what? Doesn't matter who you are nowadays in life, people want to have lifestyle. Does that make sense? They want to be able to do what they want to do when they want to do it. There's a lot of young folks in the room. Some of the guys got your kids here with you. They're not going to watch you go sitting in rush hour traffic. Someone taught us, our parents, our grandparents, our teachers, our professors, and our bosses taught us that your identity in life is get up early in the morning, sit in traffic, go to work, sit there in a cubicle, right? Now you might not be in a cubicle. One lady said the other night, I'm in a cubicle, I want out, right? You might be in a nice big office. But the problem with the big office is, it's as far as you get. I mean, once you have the big office, where are you going from there? Well, yeah, they might move in a bigger rubber tree plant. Okay, I mean, but where are you going to go? Problem with an office is, like in West Palm Beach, if anyone's been down in Palm Beach where I live, they got a big building called the Darth Vader building. It looks over the intercoastal, right, Jim, and the ocean. Well, you're sitting there, you could work for Raymond James maybe, because I've talked to guys up there in Raymond James. But they have their nose up against the window and they're looking out there at the intercoastal and the ocean, but they can't ever be in the view. I'm in the view, waving my MonaVie bottle out there. Right? How you guys doing up there? Said it might not last. Well, guess what? It lasted. How's real estate doing? How's mortgage brokerage firms doing? I'm just telling you that it was a lot tougher when I got in. I could see why a doctor or a dentist or a very successful attorney wouldn't get in, because they put a lot of time and effort into their schooling. I did, okay? But now, people are looking like never before, and I'm challenging everyone in the room to start talking to people like Randy's teaching me that have won before, okay? Meaning that if you started your own soccer team, let's just say a hockey team, if you and I owned a hockey team, we would go for the best players we could afford. Would you agree? Okay? Well, the problem with MonaVie, or should I say this industry, because my goal, and my wife's goal, and Jan's goal, the Hoova's goal, all my buddies, and you're not going to go through, I got so many of them now, Merv and Sharon, okay? Our goal is to help our friends succeed. That's why I'm here, okay? And the second goal is to help change people's perception of the industry. Well, the problem in the industry for the decades they've been, and Jan can help me on this, is people, when they get in this business or this industry, they look, for some reason, right away they look for the needy people. Oh, that person needs it, okay? The problem with needy people is they never had a first success, so they never won before, so they're not even sure if they could win. So, because I mean, really, I was a world champion, so because I was a world champion, I succeeded in my ski business. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter what if you've won before, you can win in this. This is a nutritional beverage and a weight loss product that the product works so good that people cry it works so good. So you don't even have to know how to explain it, but it works. Wouldn't you rather just have it work? And you don't have to know everything. Okay? So, look for people that have done something before. Now, don't get me wrong. The great thing about today's economy is somebody could have already succeeded, but they're down on their luck. Meaning that I was in a department store the other day, and my friend's friend, she runs a department store, was a manager, and she said that she used to be one of the top gals in Atlanta area in real estate. But because real estate tanked, she's a winner, she had to do something, so she's managing this Target over there. But she said, hey, somebody that got out of school got the promotion I was supposed to get, so she's mad. I mean, the great thing about nowadays is it only takes one day, and the same person that said no to MonaVie is fired up the next day. Because they could get their pay cut in half like my wife, right? The problem is if you're looking for something or you're praying for something like most people, if you're sitting in your cubicle saying, man, I gotta get out of here. I gotta get out of here. You're sitting in rush hour traffic, I gotta get out of here. I wanna go to Switzerland, anywhere, okay? I'd rather go anywhere it's cold and rainy any better than sitting in this cubicle, right? Okay? There's only three. If we could just agree with common sense that a job's never going to get you free. Could you agree with me on that? Okay? So, if you know you got to get out, the only reason why you haven't gotten out of your job yet is because you haven't got the right vehicle that came along that you could afford. Does that make sense? You're going to have to tell your friends and your cell phone the same thing that I told my friends. Because, like my millionaire brother-in-law said to me, I poured the juice at Thanksgiving, okay, at a holiday. We were visiting him in Georgia. I was with my wife Gina. We were only visiting her relatives. It was her mom, her two sisters, the husbands, my nephew's wife. Nobody from my family. Had some juice that we brought up there, a couple bottles of juice, and she actually said, I was kind of looking for my juice up here, so they said they put some up here. Where's it? Oh, they hid it behind the fridge. Oh, here it is. Okay, good. I drink about a bottle a day.